Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you. Wait a minute. With yet another car video. Looks and lay counts. Looks and lay counts. Contrary to popular belief, is somebody has like those looks that men think they, get all the pussy and all of that. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because see, here's the thing with lay counts. It's just that a lay count. There's no qualification on it. So you can get a guy who looks like, that Chad or Tyrone, but their count is probably under what they can count on their hands. Whereas you get some average looking or even below average, even ugly dude, he can have a count in the hundreds. Now people would say, how is that? How is that? What's Rom talking about? Well, keep in mind something with me. Keep in mind, and this is for whatever I talk about. Rom knows people. I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm out here. I've been in the hoods in DC, Baltimore, Philly, you know, and in San Diego, shit, LA. I've been around people in like poor, rich. I'm even in the place I live now. On a typical day when I go out, I'm saying hi to about 20 people I know. I know people. I know what's out here and I talk to people. People tell me stuff. Plus, I can read people. If I'm standing in front of you, I know if you're telling me the truth or not. All I had to do is look in the eye. If you want to lie to me, make sure it's over the phone and make sure you practice the speech or write it down. But if I'm looking you in the eye, hey, there's some little tricks to read somebody. Let's just say I could have been a professional profiler. But anyway, right? Check it out. That's one of the funniest things. Because I was thinking about that this morning. Because, when dudes be like, yeah, I've had sex with 100 women. I had sex with 200 women. I take it with a grain of salt, right? Because check it out. Okay, like I knew this one dude. In fact, he can probably check out my videos and stuff. I knew him. Me and him still Facebook friends and stuff. And I mentioned him before. He looked like, imagine Zac Efron, but Zac Efron about 6'1". That's what this dude looked like. But his count is low. His count is low. And I know that another dude, now this dude, I can't call this dude's name. Let's just say he's been on national TV before, but like on more on the news side, like on a big news channel. And that's how much of a clue I give you. And his count was like, they'll tell you, right? But, some guys would see him and say, hey, they model looking or all of that, right? But their counts were low. Then, on the other side, you have to know some dudes and they ain't have money, status. Their heights might have been like in the 5'7" to 5'9" range and all of that, so there, facially, well, they wouldn't get a modeling contract. And shoot, even the women who dealt with them would say, yeah, nah, they just average at best, right? But they have legitimate high accounts. So people will say, well, Mom, how is that? How is that? Here's the one thing people don't talk about. Who they getting with? Who they getting with? So the guys who, had that with either heterosexual men called very handsome faces, the women they got with were at a minimum of 8. I'm saying at a minimum, like this one dude, one I mentioned who had been on national TV a few times. The least amount of the women he'd been with was like 8.5. I mean, it was like, damn, yeah. And I knew a couple other women, like women who had been in beauty contests, models who were asking about it. Be like, so who's your friend? I mean, shoot, me and him hung out at a strip club one time, and shoot, the strippers didn't even take his buddy. They would try to holler at him. They would come to the table hollering at him. He'd give him $1. The other dudes be like making it rain, and this before they were making it rain. Other dudes get up there, put it in there, be giving them credit cards and stuff. Dude give them a good $1. They at the table chilling, won't leave. I say, don't you gotta go on? But the counts are low. Cause see, here's the thing. A lot of times we ain't talking about like the quality. Because I'm gonna tell you what, somebody said, well, I got here 7. He ain't that tall. He average looking. He don't got no money. How he getting it? Who we fucking? I'm gonna tell you something now. There's a ton of women out here um, who just ain't that attractive. But as one player said one time in very succinct terms, everybody get fucked. You be seeing those jacked up women, you be like, how they get babies and stuff? Like, I remember a time I was paid to speak to a group of teenage mothers. It was a group of them, right? All of them had babies, right? Except for one woman who was just there, like, just with a friend. She didn't have a baby. She was the only pretty one there. All these women jacked up out there. You sitting there like, damn, who got these women? Who would have sex with these women? And stuff. Poon hands. You got some dudes out here, they don't give a shit where this shit go. The female moving and shit, they don't care. And you got some guys out there like that. And I'm gonna tell you what, you be like, well, how a guy like that getting sex? Don't women all want the handsome man, the tall, handsome man and shit? Yeah, one and getting the two different things. Understand something with women. I don't give a shit how emotional we think they are, which they are. There's a level of women that is just cold-blooded and extremely pragmatic. Basically, they'll take what they can get. So a dude who don't look like, dude could be very, average looking, ain't got much going on, but the woman's realistic enough with what she got to know this is all she can do. Like, there's always this talk about, the whole average at best thing. And, women try to say they want all that, but that's just one group of women. The rest are like, shit. They know they got extra weight on them. They know they ain't filling out their dress kind of right. They know they got some emotional issues. They know, they know they needed someone, a good dentist or something. They got all this jacked up stuff, so they get what they can get. And you got some guys, shoot, that's what they do. That's why a lot of these women complain about being dusties and stuff, because that's who they fucking. Seriously. I mean, I've met some cats and you be like, how they still got 3 kids? Seriously. But then you see who they dealing with, you're like, oh, okay. Seriously. You be seeing some women. I remember I was I was at this mall, went out to my car, right? Went out to my car, just getting in. I noticed there was a guy in the passenger seat, right? And he just looked like a regular old dude. He looked like a regular old dude, but he was making all these faces like, oh. And I looked, and then all of a sudden, an ugly woman came with her head up, smiling. And I say, oh, okay. I looks like this. It's like, shit. Seriously. Like, you get some dudes saying it, and I've known some players, because see, that's one of the things I personally hung out with and known players of all levels and shit. Known them. I don't have to speculate on them and shit. I've known them, been cool with them. And yeah, you do have some dudes up there get that model look, and they'll fuckable, but they'll get a high count. But even their count will be like not as high as it could be, and they'll tell you too. They'll tell you they be getting with some badass women, but they'll say, nah, I only been with 30, I've been with 40. And that's a high count for some of those guys, because they get with good women. It's not, look, there ain't a lot of like dimes out there. They ain't common. They're not common. So, and they'll get with certain type of men. But you get some of those dudes, like that dude, remember I was doing those I gotta find that video. I was talking about that one dude on the show Insecure, a big old dude and stuff, TSA babe and stuff. I said, shit. Turned out that dude had kids. He getting all these women. I said, shoot, that's normal. In fact, I'm gonna put a link to that. I'm gonna find that again and put a link to that, because there's more normal out here. And sometimes, honestly though, sometimes the dudes like that, they get a shot at maybe. I ain't gonna say they get a shot at a 10 using that number, but they might get a shot at a strong 7, 8, a shot at an 8 depending on where they at and stuff. But then if you look at most of the women they dealing with, shit, the women mostly be in that, I say 4 to 6 range. And then you got some dudes, they don't care. I've known some guys, they be getting a lot of women. They be looking at that ugly woman and say, yeah, she fine. I know a dude like that. That dude was looking at some women talking about how fine they were and stuff. I just looked at him. I said, yeah, okay. But he was He was, he was a dog. He was an atomic dog. An underdog. Snoop Doggy Dog. I mean, but those are dudes because they don't give a shit. In fact, I remember there was a crew of just straight up dogs, DC, because one of my boys was being considered for membership. That's all they did. And the leader of them, I heard about him. I never met him or anything. I heard about him from the women. I mean, he had like a legend. And I remember he was a Facebook friend of a mutual friend. I said, hold up, I heard that name before. I checked him out. I was like, him? You know, you'd be thinking it'd be like, some Boris Kojo or something. This dude looked like he'd be happy if he get like a woman. But the women were talking about his ass. Yeah, but yeah, it just depends. It depends on what you want to get. But that's just a reality though. Like if a dude, and that's what I always say, if a dude just wants sex, it's easy. It's just a question of where you get it from. That's it. But it's a funny thing. And I'm gonna just say, from my perspective, I've been with a lot of women, but now nowhere near what I could have been. Cause shit, you want that fine woman? Shit, Now I said before, I had about over 20 pregnancy scares and shit, right? I'd say there's only a couple, maybe a couple of those women I'd have been like, ugh. The rest of them would have been like, oh damn, it's gonna be some pretty ass babies. Nah, I'm picky. Always have been. So, but that's just me. But yeah, that's just a reality out here and stuff. You'd be surprised. See, I'm gonna tell you something now. Let me just bring this up. And I see a lot of people talking, but I can tell they got very little sexual experience. I can tell when somebody really knows the game, because they're going to have sex in the conversation. They're going to bring that up. And what a lot of people think out here is the social thing and what's happening, what they see, and what happens behind closed doors. Because, like talking about just that high count thing. Anybody who's had a serious high count, there's some women they wouldn't want to be seen in public with. Yeah, they could probably. You got some dudes who have a high count. They can depending on what they do, where they at. Yeah, they can get some attractive women, but all of them, man. And you got some dudes, they don't mind going for those women who ain't quite dimes and shit, or the women who are older. Like you got a lot of guys be talking about that wall and stuff, but you got some guys, they don't care. They be like, how old is she? 40? Shit, let me go on over there. They don't give a fuck. Seriously. And that's that whole poonhound mentality. They don't give a fuck. They be like, oh shit, she easy. Get some women got some psychological issues or something, or she look kind of drab or all that. They be like, shit, girl, you look fine. I'm gonna tell you what though, when you really talk about the game, getting women and shit, yeah, there's some guys in there getting some very attractive women and all of that, right? But that's a higher level shit. That's operating on another level. But you get a lot of other guys, they just that female. Let's put it like this: don't keep if you got a female cousin or child or something, don't have them around these dudes. Shit. Some of these dudes, if you honestly ask them and stuff, some of their accountants may be a cousin or something. No joke. Seriously. But that's the real shit. That's the real shit. And I'm going to tell you what. That's why I don't get into many of these discussions or panels talking about the game or something. And I'm going to be, unless, they invite me specifically and just going to focus on me. But you get these back and forths and shit. I'm like, well, if we ain't talking sex, actual sex, I don't want to discuss it, because that's what it all come down to. Who fucking who? And who getting it what? Who got sexual access? In fact, I'm going to do something on sexual access for my next on-demand video. Let me just look for that maybe tomorrow or Thursday. Probably tomorrow. So anyway, that's all I got for now, yo. Get back with y'all later. Peace and many blessings.